here tonight as you are taking a live look in now at Bishop Kenny and Bowles. I think it's late in the third quarter. At last check, it was 10-7, but Bowles might have gone in. So let's bring in Coach Kevin Sullivan as I was running up here. Sully, you might be able to have an updated score or at least talk a little bit about this one, how big it is. Bishop Kenny and Bowles. What's happening, Sully?
Hey, doing good. Matthew Berry, 22-yard field goal. Put Bowles up 13-7, 3 minutes ago in the third quarter. Tried the onside kick, and looks like Bishop Kenny got it. They're moving. Just hit a big play inside the Bowles 20. I think it started a fourth now, or right around there.
Yeah, we might be. It looks like, yeah, they're. If I see where Marcel's walking, they're going to go the end of they're going to go the other side of the field as they were about to go in. So that means Bishop Kenny has the football in the neighborhood of about to go in neighborhood and maybe take the lead over Bowles. And what's the significance here? Well, district championship on the line. But we talked about it earlier. Bishop Kenny has not beaten Bowles since 1977. I mean, they want this one bad. Everybody wants to beat Bowles. That's part of it. But Bishop Kenny, they have not had the team to be able to compete with Bowles often in that stretch. They have had a few times. We mentioned Johnny Wolford earlier today on Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. They came real close to beating Bowles. But this is a team that they like. They think they can contend. And, well, right now they're proving that they can contend on both sides of the ball. Are you surprised, Coach, that this is as low scoring as it was? I thought that Bishop Kenny might have to keep up on the scoreboard. Instead, it's turned into a defensive battle.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it would be a little bit higher scoring affair in the mid-20s and stuff, and they're barely getting in the teens, playing great defense. Both of them have had pretty good defensive teams, but they've been both real explosive offensively. So a little bit surprised, but that doesn't mean anything around these parts in the fourth quarter. A lot of points get scored in these games.
Yeah, true. True. Talk about the context of this one. There you see the student section. I love the student section at Bishop Kenny. They're always good. They bring it each and every week, whether they're good, bad, big game, not a big game. They always bring it and ready to go. So here we go. Actually, I'm going to take you live right now. If you listen on ESPN 690, Bishop Kenny trying to go in against Bowles, and they are a half a yard short. That ball came loose there at the end, too, and the Bowles guy ended up with it, but he was down. So they're going hurry up. I can't tell what down it is, but they are seriously at like the 6-inch line right now. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and I think they're trying for a quarterback sneak and they won't get it. So, hey, Bowles is standing tall here, Coach.
Yeah, they got in that little too tight wing set, and they're trying to go fast and get Bowles off. Kiss them off, but Bowles, they're going to be ready for that. Remember, we talked about O-line, D-line play going to be important in this one, and this is the biggest D-line, O-line combination we're going to get right here.
Well, I think there was a penalty there, and it's going to be second down all over again. So I think I saw the ref say second down, which means here we go. Will they try the quarterback sneak again?
Well, hopefully he doesn't go up the middle. He comes off the edge.
Yeah. How about that? Resar runs it in, the Iowa commit. And, well, here we are now, 13-13 with an extra point looming in the fourth quarter as we just went down the other side of the field. So we're going to stay with this one for a good chunk of the Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. But we got everything we asked for here, Coach. That's fun.
Yeah, that's what we thought this was going to be. Bishop Kenny, they're trying to exercise many years, many demons, many senior classes haven't had a chance to beat Bowles. And tonight they got a chance right here, extra point, going to be good. And I believe they just took the lead.
They did. 14-13 takes the lead over Bowles here with 11 and a half minutes to go. So a lot of football still to be played. Yep. Do you remember some of these in your coaching career where you couldn't beat a team, but then you obviously got ramped up to try to beat them? Sometimes probably tried too hard to beat them.
Yeah, I remember way back. I mean, I'm going to bring this one up. So we got beat against Reigns my second year at Jackson. They had 24 straight losses, and we went to the graveyard, drove 99 yards in the last 6 minutes of the game, scored, went for two, and got the lead. And then gave them the ball back, and they ended up throwing a tip ball touchdown pass with like 6 seconds left on the clock to beat us at their place in my second year. So I remember that. And then the next year they came to our place and we won that night. And that would have been 2000, Leon Washington's senior year, I believe. But junior year, that was his junior year. So Yeah, you get some of those games where you struggle to beat people for whatever reason, big rivalries or stuff that hasn't happened, and then you finally get off the schneid, as we say, and get you a win.
Yeah, absolutely, and it means a lot. I heard somebody mentioned, as you'll see kickoff here, if you're watching again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, we're not going to go play-by-play for the radio-only listeners, but we certainly would love you to flip on Twitter and YouTube and subscribe while you're on YouTube while you can at Action Sports Jacks. But you can watch the end of this game, and I know we're going to have a lot of folks watching the end of this one. But if you are in your car, we'll give you updates. We're just not going to give you play-by-play. We're going to talk about the rest of the high school football scene while we watch this one as well. And somebody over there this week said that Tim Krause, and Coach Krause, he's pretty straight-laced, right? I mean, pretty serious guy, focused, and very good high school football coach. I think all the things you want in a high school football coach, trying to teach these guys to be good young men, good nosy X's and O's, like all those things. But it's pretty a straight-laced program. And the word on the street was that he loosened things up this week, Coach.
Yeah.
And he said, because he knew the tension would be there, right? You're trying to beat Bulls. And so he tried to be a little more loose than maybe he normally would be. And that's a good move. I mean, you never know how that's going to work out. You don't know what's going to work out. But I think that's a smart move, a good move, because no doubt the kids feel the tension of this when everybody's talking about it at school. Everybody talking about it in town. We're talking about it. It's a big high school football game. So probably a good move by Coach Krause, and it looks like it's working so far through 3 quarters.
Well, the thing is, too, is as the coach, you don't want to put the extra pressure on top of your guys. Everybody knows how big. As soon as they went to school on Monday, everybody knew how big it is. Everybody talked about it all week. So you want your kids to enjoy the moment, enjoy it, man. This is sort of what it's about, Brent. This is high school football, man. Playing your rival, being with your guys and playing your rival and trying to beat a team that you haven't beaten. Last night we had it happen with Jackson beating Raines for the first time since 2009. That's big. When I was there, it was 1984. Not beating Raines in forever, and we finally got over the hump and everything there. So it's just one of those things. It cycles, but usually doesn't cycle for like 40 years like they do here.
that's a cycle. You're right. I mean, that is just nuts. And again, credit to Clayton Freeman from the Florida Times Union. He comes up with this stuff, and I think the greatest stat there is it's Mike Healy, who's the coach at Stanton, who also is a really good guy, and he's still coaching at Stanton. He was the guy in 77 to beat Bulls. If you didn't hear us talking about this earlier today on ESPN 690, I mean, that is incredible to still be coaching, first of all, but that's how far back you have to go. And so that's the significance here. And also, Clayton did say that they've met 27 times. It's not like every year they were meeting.
Right.
But 27 out of whatever that whole total is, that's 45 years. That's still a lot, Coach. That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. That's 27 years. That's like, if you think about it, that's like your kids never seen it. Your kids are 16,
true.
Right? You know what I mean? And then add 10 more years. There's kids that went to Bishop Kenny that have kids maybe going to Bishop Kenny that haven't seen it. So that's what's wild about it to me.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, hey, Bulls is answering, and no surprise here. The Bulldogs are seasoned. They're gritty. They know how they won't panic. No doubt about it. And they're driving already here with a quick passing game and a little bit of a running game. So we'll keep an eye on this. What else has your attention? St. Augustine, I don't think we're that surprised by it, Coach.
No.
A blowout 45-7. Listen, Clay gave themselves a chance. They gave themselves an opportunity. But we kind of thought it would be an uphill battle for Clay against St. Augustine in that district title game.
Yeah, we felt, I think going in that Clay being as young as they are, they're probably another year away. Graduated a bunch of kids last year, had a really good year, and we had Coach on last week. And, no surprise there. Brian Braddock gets the district championship after missing the playoffs last year for the first time in forever at St. Augustine. So hats off to him. They'll be excited down there to be moving into the postseason.
And by the way, like you mentioned, that streak or whatever it was that got snapped down St. Augustine to not make the playoffs, which is a very rare feat. He obviously was reloading because they're pretty good. And they're going to be maybe even better next year. They've got a ton of younger kids, hardly a lot of seniors that are like heavy contributors for the St. Augustine program. So happier times ahead, and they're pretty happy tonight in St. Augustine with a 45-7 win. Hey, Coach, Creekside's going to get in the playoffs, right? 36-0 win. We kind of figured they could take care of business. They'll get Ponte Vedra next week, but Creekside's in the postseason, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they're in. I think there'll be 3 teams out of that district. Buchholz, Bartram, and Creekside. It just depends where they're going to end up because Bartram's probably going to be the 1 seed. Buchholz probably going to be the 5 seed. Will be the 5 seed. So it depends on where Creekside is going to end up. Hopefully they don't end up the 8 seed and have to play Bartram round 1. So hopefully they get in at maybe the 6 seed and they get a 3 seed. So that's how it works. If I'm not mistaken, the 4 district champions are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5 through 8 are the at-large, and they're ranked by, the best at-large team is the 5th.
I believe that is the way it's supposed to work. Now, Mandarin was curious about it yesterday. We were talking about it over there. Oh, an interception by Bishop Kenny, by the way. DJ Moore looked like he threw it off his back foot, and that's picked off by Bishop Kenny. And as long as there are no flags down, Bishop Kenny's going to get the football back. Gosh, it's hard to see their numbers with the black uniforms and the red numbers. I can't tell. Is that number 6, Kasey?
That's what it looked like, yeah.
Yeah, number 6. Maybe it's just my old eyes. That's what's happening.
No, that's number 6.
Yeah, it is number 6.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good throw right there. It looked like to me he was almost trying to throw it away, like trying to throw it as far as he can add there, but he threw off his back foot. You don't want to make those mistakes in these kind of games because, Bishop Kenny can grind the clock and eat up clock and move it and get down there and, get some more points. And but that's a big thing. I'm going to tell Marcellus, if this thing stays Bishop Kenny, man, it's going to be wild on that field after the game, and be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe out there. That's right. It'll feel like RV City tomorrow night for one of the teams, whoever wins. That was, by the way, it was Jaden Harris who picked it off. He's a senior and a big moment for him. So now Kenny gets the ball back. They're up 14-13. We're keeping an eye on this one live on the Blitz Scoreboard show here on ESPN 690 on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Twitch if you use those applications as well and listening in your car. It's 14-13. Bishop Kenny takes the lead in the early fourth quarter. There's still a lot of football to be played. And Bowles was driving, but just threw an interception to Jaden Harris. And now Bishop Kenny has it back up by 1 with, I would say, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 minutes to go. Just so you know how this works on our social media feeds and as we're giving you a live peek in here in the Blitz Scoreboard show presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. You might see Marcel do some funky things with the camera time to time. He also is shooting this game for television purposes. So bear with us on occasion. But Marcel does a heck of a job shooting the game and also balancing the fact that we're live with him as well here on the Blitz Scoreboard show on ESPN 690. So 14-13, Bishop Kenny over Bowles. We'll keep an eye on that. Well, last night, Jackson got the win 21-12 to win the district championship for Coach Christopher Foy, and also first time since Coach Kevin Sullivan did it on Main Street. It's been a heck of a couple years on Main Street for the Jackson Tigers. Let's welcome in Coach Foy to the program right now on the Blitz Scoreboard show. Brent Martineau and Coach Sully. Hey, Coach Foy,
yes, sir.
Thanks for winning this thing, so I don't have to hear about Sully, and he's the only one to win the district championship at Jackson all these times.
Thank you, man. Hey, you'll still hear about it.
I'm just kidding.
I tell you what, it's not a day that goes by that somebody don't come by on Main Street to tell me that they played for Coach Sullivan and all the success they've had. So it's a tough bit to live up to, buddy. I tell you.
No doubt. And by the way, I know everybody's proud over there, but there's nobody more proud of that Jackson Tigers win and that district championship than Sullivan right here. I know that to see all the success that you guys had. How about the way you did it? To be down 12-0 in the graveyard against a good football team showed a lot of character for you guys to come back and score 21.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it showed a lot of character in our staff and program as a whole. I got a call and I got a text that morning to tell me to be patient. Let the kids settle in the game because they hadn't been in a game of this magnitude before, and watch what happens. And you know who that information came from?
The guy
came from Coach Sullivan.
Yeah, the guy on the other end. All right, Sully, take it over. Wait, you got any questions, or are you guys just going to tell old stories, which I'm here for? I'll just listen.
Hey, Coach, Brett knows I'm a homer on this side. So, but I do want to say one thing that you don't know this, but I got a bunch of text messages after the game last night from my old players. We're so fired up about you and winning and beating Range at the graveyard. So I hadn't shared that with anybody, but I thought that was pretty neat that, I was getting Grayson text me and a couple of the other guys from this team text me. But when my guys were texting me, I was like a proud grandpa, man. I'm going to tell you right now.
That's good stuff, Coach. That's good stuff.
So I want you to know, and you've done a tremendous job, and you're doing it for the right reasons, and the kids know. But man, I'm telling you, it's just something special that you've got going over there, and just real proud of what's happening. And tell us about the unsung guy. Tell us about Simeon a little bit, Coach. Give us a little bit about Simeon's interception.
Well, you got to understand the kid. Simeon is a kid that he's 4-year kid, stayed with the program. When I came, one of those kids who thought about leaving. He works his butt off in the weight room, and he picked up some great weight. And he's just an intelligent player. I mean, you got to be an unselfish player, not a player to be an interior lineman. So he read the screen, and Coach, we practice this stuff all the time, and I try to give at least 3 screens when we go team every day. And Coach, he gets both hands on it. He didn't bat it down like my other guys do. He got 2 hands on it, and he took it to the house. Coach, when he ran in with the ball up in the air, I said, hey, he's going to spike it. He's going to spike it, but he didn't. But he read the screen, Coach, and he picked it off. And I'm kidding my defensive back coach because a linebacker got a pick 6, and now a defensive lineman got a pick 6, and I don't have a defensive back with a pick 6 yet.
That's because your defense doesn't let them throw them. You guys are all over the place. Last night you gave up 12. You only gave up really 6 because we gave up the pick 6. But you haven't been giving up a lot of points, which is, with that defense, you're going to have a chance. And just real excited. It's sort of back to normal. This is what I told somebody today. I told my wife, back to normal. Jackson's back on top. Fletcher's back on top. Ed White won the district. I said, man, it don't get any better than that. It's like the 2000s all over again.
All over.
Turn back the clock.
You got it right. Exactly.
Hey, are you at a ball game right now, Coach Foy?
Oh yeah, I'm at the Bowles and Bishop Kenny game.
See, you can give us play-by-play here. BK's got the football.
Hey man, Coach, it is a defensive battle, and I just wanted to come out and see some good high school football tonight, man. And man, these are 2 good teams, and hey. We're going to have to see some more of these guys in the near future.
Absolutely. Christopher Foy, congrats on the district championship and the comeback win and all the success these last couple of years. Been a fun story. And keep the ride going, man. Keep winning football games, and we'll continue to follow. But enjoy the rest of this football night. And, hey, you can let the other coaches stress about it tonight for Bowles and Bishop Kenny. You just get to watch.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
All right, that is Christopher Foy, Andrew Jackson, head coach, and done a phenomenal job. And you're watching James Reeser, the quarterback for Bishop Kenny. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, he runs out of bounds. It is a defensive battle, but BK continues to have the ball. They are moving once again with a 1-point lead, and that clock ticking down now in the 4th quarter. There's time, but they're going to run out of it. It's going to get late early for Bowles if they don't make a stop sooner or later. We'll keep that going with Marcel Robinson and the live cam on the social media feeds, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And we're going to take a break here on ESPN 690. We'll visit with some other coaches, including Ciatric Faison and also Toby Bullock, after those respective coaches won district championships last night. It's all on the way. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, Kasey Kuhrts. It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimbic Buick GMC and Baker Sports.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Fairly breezy tonight with some light rain and showers at times. Temperatures will be in the 60s. Partly to mostly cloudy for your Saturday, a few scattered showers, and temperatures that reach the mid-70s in the afternoon. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts now for their children and grandkids. So it's pretty cool to see that family tree grow.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years. Our non-commissioned sales associates are experts. They have only one goal: your complete satisfaction.
We have a 6,000 square foot showroom with anything and everything that you can want. Beards Diamonds has been family owned and locally operated since 1981.
40 years later, it's still our goal to offer the largest selection of quality diamond jewelry at the best prices in Jacksonville, guaranteed. The reason we can make that promise? As Beards owners, we are on the floor helping you with your purchase. We have no corporate bosses setting the price. The chain stores can't touch our prices. They just can't.
check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com. Come in and see us. We'd love to help you. Anybody that steps foot in our stores is automatically a part of the Beards family.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
It is Trucktober at Nimnik Buick GMC, and now's the time to get into that new GMC Sierra. Hey, I've got one of those, or maybe it's a GMC Canyon, and you had your eyes on it. Now's the time to do it. Nimnik's best price guarantee, 0% APR for well-qualified buyers through the month of October is happening. Stop by the showroom. Visit online, nimnikbuickgmc.com. Also through the month of October, $1,000 bonus cash to all first responders on eligible new Buick and GMC vehicles. Visit nimnikbuickgmc.com for eligibility. GMC, we are professional grade.
For seniors, staying healthy can be complicated, but one of the easiest routes to good health is prevention. No matter what our community's current COVID-19 infection rates are, getting your booster shot now is a smart way to protect yourself from severe illness later. ElderSource encourages people 65 and up to get a safe, free COVID-19 booster. For more information, visit myeldersource.org or call the ElderSource helpline at 888-242-4464.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right, and when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690. Welcome back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau, Kasey, Kuhrts, our Hall of Fame coach, Kevin Sullivan, here on a Friday night in the late October. Doesn't get any better than this. We've got Georgia, Florida in town, the Jags in London, big weekend. The World Series is starting and happening. We're going to actually join that in progress in about an hour. And we have a lot of good football, but we're really keyed in on this game. Bishop Kenny and Bowles playing for a district championship. And Bishop Kenny, Coach, how about this? I know you probably were watching during the break because we're showing everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. But it's 14-13 now with about 3 minutes to play in the game. And Bishop Kenny tried a fake punt. They got picked off by Spencer Surface, who's a terrific player. And he's made so many big plays on defense for Bowles over the years. And then Bowles goes down, had good field position. They try a field goal from 36, 37 yards out and miss it. So now BK has the ball back, Coach, trying to run this thing out.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes left. Let's see what they got, man. Sometimes, sometimes you got it. I'd be keeping it in Ray James's hands. That's one of the things I'd be doing. But they're going to try to run clock, make them use timeouts if they have any left.
Yeah, they just called one.
Okay. Yeah, so they're going to probably get it back. I think if Kenny can get a first down here, this is going to be huge right now. And here's where you get as a coach. You don't want to take the chance to throw it because of incomplete clock stops. Pick, so I'm thinking keep the ball in James's hands. I don't know if they've got any bootleg or rollout stuff like that. Give them some run pass stuff and stay in bounds, whatever anybody does.
And again, here's what's at stake, and this is why we're so locked in. First of all, you got two good football programs, and I think a lot of people even in the city are watching. We had a call downstairs before I came up here on TV. Somebody called in like, what's the score of the Bishop Kenny game?
That's funny.
I guess sometimes they say down there that happens and getting calls on high school games, but it shows you what people are thinking about it. We got a huge weekend in Jacksonville. We're thinking about this game. 2:22 to go, 2nd and 10. You see it all. Marcel Robinson doing a great job here, giving us a look at the end of this game. And what did you think about Kraus going for it on 4th down? Because I saw a shot of Kraus, and I'm like, I think he's not happy with himself right now. And I don't know. I'm just assuming, but Bowles got it in great position at the 27, and you kind of think Bowles is about to do what Bowles does, and you might have just had one slip out of your hands, and then they come up with a huge defensive stop, force a field goal in the miss. But you think we'll get really how Kraus felt about that call?
Yeah, we will. If they win, we'll get it. If they don't, we won't get that. They won't get it. And then, I mean, he's got confidence in the defense. He takes a shot, they complete it, and they get the first down. I mean, it might be game over. But again, they played great defense. They stopped him. They missed the field goal. They got the ball back. They're trying to run the clock out. And again, they kept it in Rezar's hands. I don't know what to down. Marcel's, give us down and distance. Come on, buddy.
Hey, so you can only do so much, Coach.
I know.
So much. It says, well, it looks like a play that gained some yards there, but I think they're going to go to a third down here. We'll see what it is. Well, we'll get the down distance. He's been going back and forth.
I think it's fourth
they
down
just got
right
a
here.
first down.
Oh, they gave him first down?
They just got a first down. That might do it. Look at the sideline for Bishop Kenny.
Oh.
You think this means a little something to Bishop Kenny?
Oh, God. I told Marcel he better get ready.
Yeah, he's ready. He's pointing the camera right where it needs to be right now, and that's Bishop. Again, the significance here. And, Coach, you know this, right? You know everybody in town, first of all, wants to beat Bowles. Bowles knows that anyway. They've been so good, and that's what happens when you're good. You're the Yankees, you're Duke, you're whatever. And Bowles is that. Bowles been really good around here. Everybody wants to beat Trinity Christian, too. They're really good. And so there's some excitement there. But the historical significance here is it goes back to 1977, the last time BK won the game or beat Bowles. And when you think about it from a district championship point of view, you punch your ticket. And now these kids, this is the memory, right? I mean,
this is unbelievable. They'll talk about this forever.
Absolutely, right? I mean, that's what makes high school sports so fun. And I'm not sure what they're going to do in the playoffs or anything else, but this is the memory. This is the moment right here for this football team.
Yeah, and the fun, and then not the funny thing, but the cool thing about it, I don't know if you saw the sideline. Their kids are going crazy, and Krause turns around and is like, "Knock it off!" Like we're still trying to play the game. We're gonna, act like you've been here before. But I wanted to tell none of those kids beat Bowles before. But he wants to be first class. He'll celebrate with his kids when it's over. But this is a tremendous win for Bishop Kenny tonight.
And that might have done it right there. Is that the snap that gets it done? There was about a minute to go, so I think they might have to snap it one more time. And there you see a lot of smiles on that sideline. District championship, of course, is a big deal. Really good crowd over there. A lot of attention on this football game. And they're good, Coach. I told you, Bishop Kenny's a good football team. They can play defense. I like their linebacking core a lot.
Yep.
And Resar can get it done. They've got enough offensive weapons. We're a little surprised this was low scoring, but I guess we shouldn't be totally surprised Bishop Kenny won this game. I think they were good enough to do it. It was about would they make the plays, and they just proved that they could.
Yeah, they got it made right here. They're going to be going crazy over there on the river tonight. They might leave that scoreboard on forever.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually, to do it. You can see the celebration coming up. What do you do? Yeah. I mean, you got to refocus these guys now after all this, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you get them then, you celebrate, you shake hands, and you celebrate, and you enjoy it, and then it's the 24-hour rule. Monday morning it's back to normal, but that's unbelievable right there.
That is a big-time win. We've seen some big moments in high school football this year. We see teams like Palatka off to a great start. They look like they're back. In fact, they lost to Bradford tonight, or losing to Bradford. They did score a touchdown against Bradford, which is pretty significant.
Yep.
You mentioned Andrew Jackson, what they did. Of course, to, win for the first time in 13 years the district championship. Kasey, the Bowles kids here, too, that, taking the loss in stride. And now you mentioned this today on our show on Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Does Bowles now have to win next week? Are they in danger at all of missing the postseason? They played an extremely tough schedule. They lost their quarterback for a little bit, but now they have 4 losses, Coach, on the year.
Yeah, they have 4 losses, and then they've got, one of the better teams in the area coming in with Gainesville Buchholz next week. And, if they lose, they go to 5-5. Do they get in as an A seat? And then they're playing the 1 seat, which would be maybe Andrew Jackson, maybe Bishop Kenny again as the 1 seeds, because they could be the 1 seed Kenny coming out of the 2 Metro, because the Metro area is Jackson and Ed White and Bishop Kenny, right there. And so do we get a rematch of the 1 seed and an 8 seed? does Bowles not get in if they lose next week? So there's going to be a lot of ifs, ands, and buts rolling around, I got to believe.
Do you like the fact that you can meet the same, you know?
No, I hate it.
I don't like that either. I mean, I saw it in baseball and softball a little bit. Look at the celebration now. We'll talk more about it as we go. But I think right now you soak it in. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, you can see it. If you're in your car, basically, Bishop Kenny, it's a wild scene. You're going to want to watch it on the Friday Night Blitz tonight at 11:15. I mean, it's everything you thought it would be when you haven't beaten a team in, 45 years. Since 1977, and Bishop Kenny got it done. And if you're wondering how they got it done, it was a big fourth quarter. They get in on a James Resart touchdown early in the fourth. Plenty of time to go. But it was a defensive battle all night long. Christopher Foy, coach of Jackson, was over there watching it. He said it when he just was on with us a couple minutes ago. So they take a 14-13 lead. They kick the extra point, which you never know with the extra points, but they were able to knock it through. And 14-13. There's Mark Thorson, by the way, the AD at Bishop Kenny.
Yes, sir.
And did a terrific job with this Bishop Kenny program when he was the head coach. And then went on to be the athletic director and hired Tim Krause, who got this big win tonight and has Bishop Kenny in a really good place. And I think that's Coach Krause. We're seeing the back of him as he's hugging the players right now. But Krause went for it on fourth down on a fake punt from around midfield, and they threw an interception, and Spencer Surface returned it all the way to 27. Well, the defense held one more time for Bishop Kenny. They made one more stop and forced a field goal, and the field goal missed with about 3 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go. And then Bishop Kenny was able to get a couple first downs and run out the clock, and you're watching really a fantastic student section at Bishop Kenny. Game in, game out, big game, small game, whatever game. And now they're celebrating. Both sides of the river right now, partying hard, right? In different ways.
Different ways, without a doubt.
I mean, they're probably sitting at RV City like, what's all that noise over there across the river?
Hey, you know what's remarkable too, Brendan, and we forget this, but remember 2 years ago, his first 2 years, they were 2-18 or 3-17, Bishop Kenny. And then last year they got a little momentum and got some success. And then this year it's transit. And that's what it is when your kids stay in your program. They continue to work, believe. And again, these kids have played with each other. The guys, that's been the reassuring thing that's cool, is the guys that have stayed together in the last few years with all the transfers and everybody moving. And look, they're reaping the benefits and the rewards right now.
Absolutely. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to stay with this, but you're watching it live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We call it the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports here on a Friday night. And this is why we do this show. We get a chance to show you live at a fourth quarter that was as big as it gets here in town on this Friday night. And now Marcel Robinson's got to go do some work and catch up with Coach Krause. So we appreciate his work there. And now we'll bounce around and talk about some of the other games happening in the area. But congratulations to Bishop Kenny. That is a big, big win, obviously, here on a Friday night for that school, that program, and everybody who is a Crusader. That will get people's attention around the area on this Friday night. Let's take a timeout, Coach. We come back. We hope to have Toby Bullock and might even check in with Cedric Faison along the way. We have our Committed to the Uncommitted coming up, too, on this Friday night, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. We're going to give a college scholarship out at the end of the year with this segment that we do, Committed to the Uncommitted. So see who our next nominee is, who could potentially get that scholarship at year's end. Of all the kids that we highlight each and every Friday night, we will pick one that will be the winner of a scholarship by year's end. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Blitz Scoreboard Show here on ESPN 690.
Did you know that the air in your home can be much worse than the air outdoors? In fact, the EPA lists indoor air quality as one of the top 5 health threats in America. Zero Res can help. Cleaning air ducts is all about power. The more power you have, the more air you can move, and that's how you clean air ducts. Our truck mount system moves over 1,500 CFMs to pull out all the dirt and debris out of your home. Right now, Zero Res is offering $50 off the cleaning of your air duct system. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
We're local, you're local. Shop local. Please shop local retailers right here in the 904.
Shop the 904.
When you shop local retailers, you're making an investment in our community.
When you shop locally owned businesses, most of the money you spend with them stays right here in our community. Shop these great local businesses.
Ganny Brand for Women, Infinity Spa Jax, Seawalk Custom Florals, Moxie Ice Cream, Around We Go Children's Boutique and Consignment,
Now, more than ever, we need to support local businesses and shop the 904.
They're a big part of what makes living in the 904 so great. To get your business listed, email shopthe904@cmg.com. That's shopthe904@cmg.com. Get your business listed.
Shop the 904.
To get your business listed, email shopthe904@cmg.com.
Need cash for the holidays or to pay off credit cards right now? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low rate. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $300 a month. Use that money to pay off high-interest credit cards, or consolidate other debt, or start a home improvement project. With Loan Pronto, you can access up to 95% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. Even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Do it now before the holidays. Call Loan Pronto now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508, loanpronto.com, 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, MLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
For seniors, staying healthy can be complicated, but one of the easiest routes to good health is prevention. No matter what our community's current COVID-19 infection rates are, getting your booster shot now is a smart way to protect yourself from severe illness later. ElderSource encourages people 65 and up to get a safe, free COVID-19 booster. For more information, visit myeldersource.org or call the ElderSource helpline at 888-242-4464.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at unfospreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at unfospreys.com.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Hold on, I'm eating some Cheez-Its. I'm going to have to take over, Kasey. Trying to sneak in a little snack here. What's happening, Coach Sully? Where are you today, by the way? Are you in the mountains? You back home in Flagler? Where the heck are you?
I'm everywhere, man. You know it. I'm here. I'm there. I'm like a phantom.
You don't want to tell us.
We're up in the mountains. We're heading back tomorrow. We're in the mountains. We're heading back tomorrow.
Man, it must be nice up there right now, huh?
Well, oh, man, it's beautiful today. High was like 64 today. You know, it's been nice the whole week. So my wife made me go on the train. We went on the train on Wednesday. So I don't know.
She made you go on the train. Like, you got to be more specific, Coach. Like, what's the train?
The Great Smoky Mountain Railroad. It goes from Bryson City through Nantahala Gorge, and then you go out and that stuff. So she's been wanting to go for like 35 years. And I'm like, no, we're not going. We're not going. So she just booked her tickets on Wednesday. She goes, oh, we're going on the train. I'm like, oh, okay.
Sully finally takes the train. Bishop Kenny finally beats Bowles.
There you go. Now.
Couple of things that took 35 to 45 years to happen. Brent Martineau, our Hall of Fame coach Kevin Sullivan, Kasey Kuhrts, here on a Friday night and a festive Friday. Here throughout the area, of course, with the Georgia-Florida game. And we've been all over that. We just got done with the TV special from 7 to 8 at the bank. Beautiful night here as well. And for everybody, I mean, the rain stayed away, so it was fine. It was a great night for folks in RV City. It's obviously a fantastic night for Bishop Kenny fans, and they saw a good game. Even Bowles fans, 14-13 was the final defensive struggle. And Bishop Kenny gets it done to win the district and beat Bowles for the first time since 1977. That is the major story here on this Friday night that we continue to follow. Meanwhile, some other scores to pass along. We just heard Ponte Vedra beat Nice coach 35-34. So that is a
OT. It was overtime.
Oh, it was overtime. That extra point got the job done?
Yeah, I don't know if Nice missed the extra point or went for two, because PV scored the second one, and then they ended the game with the PAT, 35-34. So I don't know if Nice went for two for the win or if they just missed it. So I don't know that. But I just got that score.
Okay.
And that's big for PV too, because they may sneak in as a playoff team in maybe a 7 or 8 seed, because they're right there on the bubble going into that game.
But they've played, we talk about, I think Creekside has played some wild games this year. Now, they didn't have to worry this time around, 36-0 win. But Creekside's played some crazy games at the end of the year. And Ponte Vedra's right there. They lost a 3-point game to Flagler Palm Coast. They beat Bishop Kenny and on a last-minute drive and a 2-point conversion. And then they had that win today in overtime against Nice. And good effort by Nice, who's really struggled. But in that Battle of the Bridge and rivalry game, they brought it and very competitive and almost beat Ponte Vedra. And now Ponte Vedra gets one more chance, Coach, to probably improve the resume, right? If they could beat Creekside next week, that would certainly be in their favor.
Yeah, if they can, I don't know, it's going to be close. You just got to see how the regional points. But I think if they come out and beat Creekside, they're for sure going to get in. I mean, their schedule's been pretty tough. I mean, beating Bishop Kenny, giving them their only loss as of right now, is huge for them in the RPI points and everything. So, they played Bartram 13-7 week 1. So, maybe they're peaking at the right time, doing some good things. So, I think they'll be fun to watch if they get in too.
Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, Kasey Kuhrts, Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnik Buick GMC and Baker Sports. The couple other scores out, Bartram Trail won big today over Oakleaf. And Oakleaf's been giving everybody fits. But Bartram Trail, 55-20, Coach. And they remain undefeated. Is this a state championship caliber team at Bartram Trail?
Well, they've got a pretty good chance, because, we've talked about them playing great defense. I think even in the rematch with Buchholz, I think Buchholz is a really good team and everything. They're going to have to face them again to get to the semis. But I think Buchholz is a really good team. But I don't think they're good enough defensively where Bartram can beat you offense, defense, beat you on special teams. And it might be one of those special years over there, down there over there at Bartram Trail.
What's it take to win a state championship, in your opinion? What is that formula? I mean, is it better to play good defense because that will travel? And, we always talk about Liam Padron. I mean, we mentioned the kicker's name quite a bit. They have that X factor where probably a lot of teams around the state don't have a guy like that. So maybe that could help them out. But, I mean, what does it take? I mean, obviously you got to be good. I'm trying to look for something a little more in depth, Coach.
Well, I mean, you're going to be a little bit lucky, because
that's a good point.
Not all the time the two best teams get out. Sometimes there's an upset maybe in the quarters or maybe even in the semis. Two teams match up that don't really match up real well, and the better team loses. I think everybody talks about, and this is what we were alluding to earlier, I wish like Region 1, the 1 seed in Region 1 would play the 8th seed in Region 2. I wish they'd meet it that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us playing like we're going to have 6 teams in 2M in the top 8. You know what I mean? So they just played like Bowles and Bishop Kenny play tonight. They could play in 2 weeks. I just don't like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I know everybody says the cream rises to the top. You got to whatever. Or, oh, my God, we might have to travel to Tallahassee and play. Nobody cares about travel in the playoffs. Nobody cares. So I wish we would see the state would get smart and either go to 8-team regions like Georgia or have Region 1 through 8 play Region 1 through 8 second region and max them, cross bracket them. And then you're going to get the 2 best teams that come out in the semis. But
yeah,
what do I know?
No, yeah, I think you know a lot. I think that's a good point. I don't like it either. And here's one reason I don't like it, especially because the way it is, the way they rank this stuff, the district champs are the top 4 teams. That doesn't always mean they're the best 4 teams. And so, yes. I mean, you can have like this district this year. I mean, you could be that 8th team in that district or in that district and yes. or region. Mm-hmm. And be like the 4th best team.
Yes. Last year, I counted up. There were 16 5th seeds that beat the 4 seed. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, that makes sense to me. The way the format is, that makes sense.
The way the format is, because the four seed for the district champion is usually the worst one. And then the 5th seed is usually the best runner-up. So I don't – that's the only thing I don't like. I don't – the Metro, all that stuff, I don't care about none of that stuff. The kids, they're going to play. You're going to win a state championship or not. It doesn't matter. There's 8 teams or 9 teams that win it every year, whatever it is. But I'd like to see it competitive that way, where we cross bracket region 1 and 2. So Andrew Jackson's the 2 seed, and Ocala Forest has to come to Andrew Jackson. That's 2.5. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about travel in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I think, it's something to complain about if you got to go 5 hours, but maybe it's not as big a deal as everybody else on the outside makes it seem, especially if you can create a better matchup.
Right, exactly. And if you're going like you're the 2 seed, just take, I'll use Bowles as an example. Bowles say they're going to be the 7 seed, and they're going to play the 3 seed. So Bowles, we know Bowles is going to be coached well, and they got a chance. Well, Bowles goes and plays the 3 seed in the other district. It might be, they might run the table on that side. You know what I mean? So I just think that we shortchanged ourselves a little bit to get the best matchup in the round of 8 and the round of 16 and 8. I think you just get better matchups.
All right. Hey, we're going to continue rolling here with the Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnik Buick GMC and Baker Sports. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach, Kasey Kuhrts as well. And let's welcome into the show Seatric Faison, who got the night off because they won last night 30-12 over First Coast, a pesky First Coast team, and they got themselves a district championship in doing so. And Coach Faison, I heard that special teams was a big deal for you guys last night. Congrats on the big win and the district title.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How did they go last night?
Special team was huge for us. The last since our bye week, that's been our main focus. To make a run in the win district. I knew that special teams was gonna come through, so we've been giving special teams a lot of attention, and it's crazy. Last night we ended up getting 3 straight pop kicks after scores last night to start the half.
Seatric Faison with us here in a big week, of course, with the Georgia-Florida rivalry. Florida-Georgia for C4, of course. We'll get to that in maybe a moment. But your team just keeps winning, Coach. I feel like you guys have won a lot of close football games the last couple of years since you took over. And it looks like you got a lot of momentum right now. And I know you can do it in different ways. What kind of confidence, momentum, and how good are you guys playing at this point of the season in your eyes?
We're playing pretty good. I think we're starting to put it all together. But the crazy part is we're starting to get healthy. Yesterday was the first game we played all year with our starting O-line. We got our big lineman, Toby Matson, back after him having Liz Frank surgery right after the spring. And he came back, and it pretty much pushed us over the top. And Tate's doing well, and our running game that came together. So I think we're playing pretty good. And this week we even get starting linebacker back from suspension. So I think we're going to be fine going forward.
Sully, take it away.
Hey, Seatric, congratulations, man. Appreciate you calling in. Hey,
thank you, Coach.
What's it look like? Have you looked ahead a little bit to see, who you may get or who you may not get in the way this goes? Have you looked a little bit?
If the fall high, I think it's going to fall. It looks like probably Orlando Jones, which is crazy. They're actually the 3rd overall seed if we weren't including district champ. But they have the 3rd highest points and strength of schedule in our region. And it's looking like it's probably going to be us against Orlando Jones in 2 weeks at our place. But that could change. I know they got a big one tonight. So I think, but if I had to guess, I think it's definitely going to be Orlando Jones.
So challenge now is you got one more this week coming up, right? Who you finish with?
Correct. Atlantic Coast.
Oh, okay. So you finish with Atlantic Coast, and then you get ready for the playoffs. As far as now, I did watch the viral. Your boy gone viral, Marcellus running that guy over on the goal line. That thing was tremendous. Everybody, I think that's everywhere around the country.
By the way, Sully, I didn't know you were checking out all those social media reels. Good for you up in the mountains.
Hey, I got to find something to do. It's a little cold outside, but he really seems to be taking the leadership role. Do you feel him Marcel taking the leadership role? Marcellus Tate, your quarterback?
Oh, most definitely. I always knew he was the leader. That's pretty much how he started getting his offers. One day our offensive coordinator was late, and I left him at practice, left the offense by himself, and we had some scouts out there watching practice. They was like, hey, your quarterback just controlled the whole offense, perfect play period by himself, and all the kids are listening to him. And that's pretty much what started him getting the offers and stuff. But I always knew he was a leader, but now since the game started, he's been stepping it up every week. And this past week, he definitely stepped it up with his play.
Seatric Faison with us here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Fletcher head coach. They are district champs, fresh off a win last night, 30-12 over First Coast. Hey, I want to ask you about Mateo Davis. We are highlighting him right now as committed to the uncommitted. It's a segment we do for overlooked players, Coach, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. Tell us a little bit about Mateo. He's a defensive end, 3.0 guy in the classroom, 6'3", 250. That's a nice body on a defensive end now.
Oh, yes, he's a quiet kid. He came to us from Terry Parker. He had a tragic in his life almost about a year ago, and most of his family was from the beach, and he wanted to be around his family, live with his aunt for a little bit. But the kid, man, is an unbelievable athlete. Don't talk much, not about showboating. He's not a me guy. He's always for the team, and he's highly underlooked. And the kid is leading the area in sacks, and after last night, he got 15 sacks, over 60 tackles, and he got a lot of D2s, and lately about offers being reaching out. But I think the kid is definitely one of those underrated players, and whoever gets him is definitely going to get a great athlete, but a better person.
Wow, Coach Sully, how big is that? I mean, when you have 15 sacks, the season's not even over. I mean, does production matter to the recruiters?
Production matters, but what matters to him is when he tackles you, and I told you this today, Brent, when he grabs you, you know he grabs you. Like every film that I watched on him, all his huddle stuff, is when he makes contact with the guy, he goes down. That guy goes down. That shows his power and his strength and his play, and I love his motor, and he gets after it really well. So I really like this kid, really do. Thanks for putting him up, Seatric.
Seatric, just one more thought on Mateo and a guy like this. I mean, when he gets to a play, I mean, does he have more to build on that body? I mean, as a 250 guy, 6'3", or is he already there? I mean, and when he gets to a place, I mean, he might just even erupt even more.
He definitely got more to improve. The kid is just naturally strong, but he is weight room strong. But I think he has another level that he could get to, and definitely he's one of those kids that right now he don't wire you too much with the crazy eye candy. But I had a kid named Andrew Farmer that's up in Lane that's projected to get drafted in the later rounds that was the same way. Andrew Farmer's now like 260, 6'4", 3% body fat. And Mateo has that same body frame that could do the same thing as Andrew Farmer. So I definitely think he got a lot of room to grow. But I don't think he's one of those red shirt kids. I think he's a play now kid just because of his aggression. And like Coach Sully say, when he grabs you, he grabs you. We call him the grown man on the team.
Committed to the uncommitted, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. Mateo Davis, defensive end for Fletcher. A lot of good things said. Come on, college coaches, come get a guy that's going to be very productive. 15 sacks this senior season so far, and the season's not even done for the Fletcher Senators. All right, got to leave you with this, C4. Your Gators could be in trouble tomorrow, man. 22-point underdogs, but this is a rivalry game, so maybe throw those kind of things out the window. What are you hoping to see tomorrow from your Gators?
I hope to see us just let AR go. In the games that he's been good, it's been against the great opponents. And the games that we kind of held him in a box, been against the average opponent. So I'm hoping we just let him go and let him beat him. And I'm not really worried about the point spread. Like you said, it's a rival game, so anything can happen in those rival games. And I just hope we put on a show and it don't look like it did last year.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend. Congrats on the district championship, and good luck the rest of the way. Appreciate you jumping in.
I appreciate y'all for having me, and thank y'all.
All right, that is Seatric Faison, of course, one of the Gator greats, and he'll be watching that one tomorrow against the Georgia Bulldogs on CBS 47 at 3:30, or maybe he'll be down there. But his high school football team is doing a nice job as well with the Fletcher Senators. Fun stuff with C4. We still have about another half hour to go here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. Hope to catch up with Coach Krause. He's probably still celebrating with that Bishop Kenny team. That is the story of the night. Bishop Kenny beats Bowles 14-13. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
It is Trucktober at Nimnick Buick GMC, and now's the time to get into that new GMC Sierra. Hey, I've got one of those, or maybe it's a GMC Canyon, and you had your eyes on it. Now's the time to do it. Nimnick's best price guarantee, 0% APR for well-qualified buyers through the month of October is happening. Stop by the showroom. Visit online, nimnickbuickgmc.com. Also through the month of October, $1,000 bonus cash to all first responders on eligible new Buick and GMC vehicles. Visit nimnickbuickgmc.com for eligibility. GMC, we are professional grade.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the chief. Chief meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997, and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
Bring the family to the 11th Annual Fall Palatka Bluegrass Festival, November 10th through the 12th. Enjoy fun and music at the beautiful Rotahira Boys Ranch by the St. Johns River from artists like Rhonda Vincent and The Rage, the Malpass Brothers, Wayne Taylor, and more. Visit evansmediasource.com or call 386-385-3500 for more information. That's evansmediasource.com or call 386-385-3500.
Now you see it, now you don't. It's the Ghost Your Payments event going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's no payments until 2023 on your pre-owned purchase. Arlington will even waive your last 6 lease or loan payments. Poof, they're gone. Got a trade? Arlington will pay up to MSRP for your trade. What are you waiting for? Shop the Ghost Your Payments event before this sale disappears. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/October for full detail.
Hi, this is Brian Kilmeade. I want you to join me while I MC Operation New Uniforms 9th Annual Heroes Gala with guest speaker Colonel Alan West at the Sawgrass Marriott Saturday, December 3rd.
Greetings, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, and I'm excited to join Operation New Uniform as we celebrate our heroes at the 9th Annual Heroes Gala, December the 3rd. Join us in honoring our military service men and women and their families on this night to remember. We look forward to seeing you there.
Since 2014, ONU has helped thousands of veterans develop the skills necessary to translate their talents and backgrounds into business. Salute our veterans Saturday, December 3rd, and join me, Brian Kilmeade, and Colonel Alan West for a very special event. There are several sponsorship levels available, but space is limited. To get your group involved, call 904-328-1600. That's 904-328-1600, or go to onuvets.org. Secure your table today.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
It's Friday night. Scoreboard Show, driven by Nimnick Buick GMC. Here's your host, Brent Martineau.
Well, it's a crazy time here on a Friday night in late October. Beautiful evening, though, and a lot happening. Again, the big story we want to keep telling you about. Bishop Kenny celebrates in style. First win over Bowles since 1977. They win a district championship, and they get that done over the Bowles Bulldogs, holding on in the fourth quarter for Coach Krause and the Crusaders. First win over Bowl since 1977 for that district title. Also winning district championships. We got Jackson yesterday and Fletcher. We just had Seatric Facing on. We had Coach Foy on earlier. Mandarin got it done as well. We're going to show you highlights of that in just a couple moments. Also, Bartram Trail won last week in terms of the district. Who else am I missing in here? I mean, we got a bunch of district champ. Baldwin, of course. Let's welcome back in Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach, and just some championship time of year, Coach, on Thursday and Friday here. Some of them won it last week, but everybody getting crowned now, and we kind of know how this is shaking out as we head toward the final couple of weeks and then some postseason play.
Yeah, that Bradford game, they win the District 2 for the first time since 2016.
They gave up 14 points, Coach. What's wrong with them?
I saw that, 35-14. They've only given up 7 in 9 games, and they want to you got to give up some points so you don't shock people later on down the road in the playoffs. But that's a really good team. Jamie Rogers got them playing great defense. And Palatk's having a nice year. Let's not forget about them, 7-2 with one big one to go next week with St. Augustine in the annual battle of that one that's been going on forever. Hats off to them. But, yeah, St. Augustine gets it done. We've got a bunch of district championships crowned. A lot of people start looking, hey, where are we going to be, who are we going to host, what we're going to get. And that's sort of the fun time this time of year, the next couple of weeks. A lot of fun teams going on. It's awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah, Bradford, by the way, beat Palatka 35-14. Trinity Christian over Providence 55-10. They, too, obviously already won district championship. And so some of the scores rolling in here on a Friday night. Now that some of that takes shape, I think we talked about this a little bit, and you even, I believe, asked Seatric Faison, too. What do you do down the stretch here over this next week or so? And you start peeking ahead who you might play, how this could match up. You want to stay hot, though, but you want to stay healthy, Coach, right? So, how do you attack that this time of year?
You just keep playing, and everybody said, well, you're in the playoffs. You won them all. You got this team the next week. We're going to rest guys. No. I don't know a lot of coaches. Maybe if you got a kid that's nicked up and could use an extra week, but I don't believe in doing that. You keep the momentum moving forward. You win the next game, and then you head to the playoffs. Some guys will start maybe getting their guys breaking down the team they're going to play, get a lot of that because they'll start getting a bunch of film on guys. They'll sort of know. But you got to finish week 11, game number 10, and you got to keep winning and keep the momentum moving forward.
All right, right now here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnik Buick GMC and Baker Sports. Brent Martineau, Hall of Fame coach Kevin Sullivan, Kasey Kuhrts, and glad to be joined by Sean McIntyre here on the show in the 10 o'clock hour of the show. Creekside head coach coming off a nice win, 36-0. Defense got it done tonight, Coach.
Yeah, it was 36-7. They scored late.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, they had a nice drive at the end of the game. I've been doing this, and Coach Sullivan, he knows when you do this a long time, you have some seasons like what they're going through at Atlantic Coast. But I give a lot of credit to Mike Monemeyer and his staff. I mean, those kids, they played the whole game. And you look at their schedule, there's not one team that they've played that is, a cupcake or anything like that. And they've had a really tough schedule, and every week they've gone out there and played. And the hats off to them. Proud of our kids and the way that we played. We got to finish better in the red zone. I think, somebody told me our kicker broke the state scoring record tonight.
That's what I heard.
Not sure if that's a stat we want to have. I'd like to score a few more touchdowns, but
what did he kick? 5 field goals? Sean,
yeah,
5 field goals tonight?
Yeah, 5 field goals and a bunch of extra points. And, and Ronnie, he was the first team all FACA district kicker. He's a tremendous kid. His brother played for us. And so proud of him for sure, but wish we would have finished a few more drives, and a few of those field goals would have been extra points.
How do you say his last name so I don't mess it up on TV, Coach?
Darajati.
Darajati. There you go.
Darajati.
Yeah, there we go. So I have no excuses now. But at least he had a nice night. And I say this a lot to Sully and others. Like we're talking about Liam Padron for Bartram and just even extra points like in the Bishop Kenny game tonight and wins 14-13 to make that extra point. Those kickers now, when you have one, it's a nice little weapon in your back pocket, especially late in the year and in the postseason, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we have kickers at Creekside. I can tell you that. We have 4 kids right now in our program that we feel like we can run out there from 30 yards plus. And that's not an exaggeration. Wow. Our kicking coach, Coach Canterbury, does a tremendous job. We have a junior named Cooper Maurer. who's going to step right in next year, and he kicked off one kickoff tonight and had a touchback. So we have some tremendous kids who we've kind of brought along in our program, and we kind of just have a pipeline of them, and they're awesome kids. I wish more of them got opportunities tonight, but they're great kids, and they work every day. They show up at practice, and they're a big part of what we do. Ronnie's as much a part of our team as anybody, and you love to see the success for him tonight.
Sean McIntyre with us, head coach at Creekside, as they get another W. You guys have won in some magical ways, fourth down plays this year. How much does your team feed off that? You know how to win, you learn how to win, but there's also a little bit of magic at times late in game if you get in those situations. Do you feel that? Do they feel that?
Yeah, no doubt about it. There has been some magic. There's definitely some situations that you don't want to be in as a coach. 4th and 15 at Oakley from the 15-yard line with 2 minutes to play, down 7 or down 6, and just moments like that where our kids, God bless them, they're resilient. They just kind of like, hey, coach, we got this. I'm like, okay, you guys are crazy, but we're in. So our kids played, just really resilient football and never bat an eye. They really believe in what we're doing, and it's fun to coach them. I talked about it tonight. You don't have a chance to put hourglasses or stand back in the hourglass usually. I think we punched our tickets to the playoffs tonight, and I just love coaching this group, man. Like, I just want as many times as we can go out to that practice field, as many times as we can get on the bus to be together, have those opportunities, because it's a really fun group to coach.
Coach Sully, take it away, but I feel like I could ask you this question. Some teams are just fun to coach, right, where you feel like you're getting the most out of them, and also maybe they're all dialed in so you can get the most out of them. I'm sure you've had experiences with that too, Sully, but this Creekside team and Coach McIntyre and their staff, it kind of resembles that or feels like that, at least from a distance.
Yeah, without a doubt. I don't know if I can cut Coach.
We don't care. He's up in the mountains. Yeah. It's all right. Just cut him off.
Yeah, they are really. I mean, we coach them hard. We've coached our defense hard the last few weeks, and we've gotten better on defense. And so, like, our kids are resilient. They love getting better. We've done more on game plans this year on defense because our kids care about what the down and distance is, what the call is going to be, making sure everything's right. So those are fun kids to coach when they're that committed and invested in making sure everything is right.
Sully, I'll let you talk. Sorry, man.
And no, you're fine. The fun part too about this group, though, Sean, sort of unexpected, though, And so those kids have been in your program. We talked about this early in the year. You weren't expecting to have this kind of year with all the kids you replaced and everything. And again, tribute to the program and everything. But I do have one question: is have you looked ahead a little bit? Like, where will you travel to? If it, if you're the 6th seed or the 7th seed or whatever, have you looked at any of that yet?
Yeah, in the last few weeks, you just take a peek at it because you don't have the math, you don't have the formula, so you can't sit there and do any number crunching or anything like that. But you just look at it when it comes out. The last few weeks, we've been the 5 seed, pretty locked in at the 5, and the VAR has been pretty locked in at the 4. And so, haven't done any prep work or anything on that. And probably need to talk to Luke on Monday, our AD, about getting some charter buses and make sure we got those ready for the 11th.
Right.
Because there's a possible trip to the Panhandle coming, and whatever it looks like for our kids, they're not going to bat an eye. They're going to be ready to play. If we got to get on a bus and go 3 miles down the road, or if we got to get on a bus and go 6 hours almost to Alabama, they'll be ready to play when we get there and put them forward. And I might I'll probably sandbagged a little bit at the beginning of the season, and I felt like we had a chance to be okay because of all the kids that we have that are playing that are upperclassmen. And it just proves that, the model at Creekside, it works. And more importantly, the work that the kids do works because they're the ones who didn't bat an eye lifting last winter, didn't bat an eye preparing for the team for this summer and practicing every day. So, when you have those kind of kids that do the work and do the detailed stuff day in and day out and build on that, we have an opportunity to be good even if we graduate 19 starters. So just really proud of our kids and the steps that they've taken this season.
Coach McIntyre, enjoy the weekend, man. Congrats on another win, and good luck the next couple weeks. Hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, I hope so, guys. Kevin, enjoy the mountains. Coach Brent, we'll talk to you guys soon. I appreciate all you do. Congrats to all the guys who won district championships tonight around the area. I heard Coach Foy on, man, what an awesome job he's done at Jackson. My own best friends, Brian Braddock, won a district title tonight. So congrats to those guys, and best of luck to everybody in North Florida as the playoffs arise.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good work yourself. That staff at Creekside's done an unbelievable job. Have a great night. Coach Sully, by the way, it was interesting. I was over at Mandarin yesterday, and we're going to check out those highlights. I think Kasey has them. Mandarin beat Sandalwood. That was a wild game. It got real close at the end. But I was thinking about it and talking to the AD think about the coaches they've had over there. Obviously, Bobby Ramsey won a state championship. But before that, they had Braddock there. And Sean McIntyre, they're really good buddies, right? And Braddock goes to St. Augustine. He did win a district tonight. And, McIntyre's done an unbelievable job at Creekside these last few years, and especially the last couple of years. And then Toby Bullock wins a district championship, and we're watching some of the Mandarin highlights. I mean, pretty good pipeline of coaching over there at Mandarin.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Brian got them sort of back. They sort of fell off, when Atlantic Coast opened, and they split and lost a bunch of their kids over the Atlantic Coast. And then they had some down years, went through a couple coaches. And then when Brian got there, he sort of got it stabilized. His 3 years there, they had a great run. But, he had to go back home to St. Augustine. And then, they brought Bobby in and what he did. And then Toby's been on staff with them. He won a state championship as the offensive coordinator with Bobby. So, I mean, a lot of continuity, but, really good group of guys there, coaches, and hats off to them. They play a pretty good schedule, too, now. They don't back down from a lot of people. They play a pretty good schedule. So, congratulations to Coach Bullock.
Yeah, no doubt.
The Mustangs.
Yeah, Coach Bullock has done a nice job there. That game was a weird game, a ton of flags in the second half. Sandalwood came back. Mandarin was up 17-0. Sandalwood comes back, makes it 17-14. They actually had the ball. Jordan Bean with a terrific run. We probably just saw it in the highlights. And then they stalled. And then on a 4th and 2, Tremel Jones hits Kyron Jackson, who was one of our committed to the uncommitted.
Boog. Right, Boog, what's that his name?
The separation coach, he's fast now. I think he scored a couple of touchdowns. He's so fast that he had to, wait for the ball. It wasn't like it was a bad throw, but he beat everybody off the line of scrimmage so much he's waiting in the end zone for the football. And, he is really quick. But I tell you what, it's not my first time seeing Jamie French play, but that kid's a stud now.
He's pretty electric, pretty electric. I watched a little bit of him on tape. He can pretty much do whatever he wants to do with the football.
Sometimes I'll go to these games, and you know how this works. You got to share the ball and everything. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, why aren't they throwing it to this kid every time? That's what I say.
So do the people in the stands.
I'm watching them, run for 3 yards or get a holding penalty, and now it's 2nd and 20. And, why are you just not throwing it to that kid? But he's really good. Listen, I've always – people get overhyped sometimes this day and age. People get hyped, and it's tough for the kids to handle. There's just so many good players around here, but that's a sophomore now, right?
Right, yeah, sophomore.
And so is Tremel Jones. And I always go back to the Bobby Ramsey told me last year, early in the year, he's like, check out these two guys. They might play on Sundays.
Right.
And that's when you've got some talent, and everybody's after these guys now, too. But I'm telling you, number 9 that you saw in the video there, if you watch on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and are all committed to the uncommitted earlier this season, don't sleep on him. He is a really good player, and somebody will end up with Kyron Jackson, and they're going to be really happy about it. All right, we take one more break. Let's do that. And when we come back, we'll put a bow on this thing and catch everybody up on some of the scores and some of the district championships. Might get Coach Kraus on from Bishop Kenny. I'm sure they're still celebrating over there. We'll see if we can get him in before the end of the show. And I'll tell you who it was a big week for. We haven't talked about yet, but I won't tell you right now, but I'll tell you when we come back. I want to see if Coach feels the same way. That's next on ESPN 690. It's a Blitz Scoreboard show presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Fairly breezy tonight with some light rain and showers at times. Temperatures will be in the 60s. Partly to mostly cloudy for your Saturday, a few scattered showers, and temperatures that reach the mid-70s in the afternoon. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Are you interested in giving back to your community but aren't sure how? Do you possess a skill set that could help aspiring small business owners? Have you ever considered sharing your knowledge base through one-on-one counseling? If so, you may be just the right person to become a SCORE mentor. Since 1964, SCORE has helped more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to over 8,000 individuals annually through confidential one-on-one mentoring, as well as hosting over 140 workshops. Find out more and apply today by clicking the volunteer tab at jacksonville.score.org.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You'll save time and make the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry, so you can sell your home stress-free and make the most money. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. When you get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Jeremy, said, "We were very pleased with Mark Spain Real Estate. We took their guaranteed offer and got more money than we thought possible. Not only was the offer strong, but their customer service, professionalism, and attention to detail also exceeded our expectations. I've been in business for nearly 30 years and have served over 44,000 satisfied clients, and I know what matters most, a quick sell and maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply.
Hi, this is Mal Washington. The Malavia Washington Youth Foundation provides after-school and summer programs for youth in Jacksonville's urban core. Learn more about the foundation at malwashington.com. Want to offer hope and change a child's life? Please consider joining the Malavia Washington Youth Foundation once a week to mentor a child. Visit malwashington.com to learn more. Want to change a life but don't have time to volunteer? Consider sponsoring a child today. It's your serve. Visit malwashington.com to learn more.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
It's really been a fun night so far here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau, Hall of Fame coach Kevin Sullivan, Kasey Kuhrts in the middle of Georgia-Florida week. We just got done with a special. We've got a big day of coverage all day tomorrow, starting bright and early in the morning. Jags are in London. Stuart Weber is there. Just a heck of a week. This is why we do it. This is what we love. And we got a heck of a night for football all over the place yesterday and today. District championships being won. Good games as well. Beautiful weather to play football and what feels like playoff football. And maybe no better illustration of it. While everybody's partying over at RV City across the river, there was some loud noises going on as well, and it was cheering for Bishop Kenny. A huge win over Bowles. That's the story of the night, 14-13. First time the Crusaders have beaten Bowles since 1977, and Tim Krause helped get it done to win the district championship. And I can't imagine the celebration's over, but thanks for taking a couple minutes before we hit the end of the show, and congrats, Coach.
No worries. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I mean, what are you feeling right now? I mean, that's you put a lot of work into this. Your kids put a lot of work into this, and you've got a lot of Bishop Kenny alums over the years that this means a lot to, I would imagine.
Yeah, just overcome with emotion for our players. I mean, our kids are so resilient, and yeah, it's inspiring as a coach and makes you want to come to work. And just can't express how much I love that group.
Well, what about the defensive effort? Bowles has a chance late after the pick, and you guys came up big one more time. I was talking to Sully earlier, and I think he agreed with me. I didn't see this being a defensive kind of game. I thought it would be a little bit more scoring. Did you kind of anticipate it going this way?
I knew we'd have a tough time running the football. I didn't think we could score a ton of points. I think we felt like the way that we were going to win was having to kind of steal a possession somewhere along the line and get a couple of stops. And, yeah, we did more than that. I mean, our kids did a great job, especially in the red zone. Bowed up a couple times. To me, I think the mental toughness of, like, all the excitement of this game, the build-up, and then to give up a 70-yard run on the first play, I think a lot of teams, fold and it gets out of hand. And our kids played the next 3 downs and made them kick a field goal. And you look back now and, that moment is huge. And that's just a huge life lesson for them. I think sometimes you get punched in the face and you got to be able to respond, and they were able to.
Sully, take it away.
All right. Hey, Tim, congratulations. I said to Brent, just remember, 2 years ago, you'd won what, 4 games in your first 2 years, and now you're
2 games.
2 games in your first 2 years, and now you're knocking off. Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure they weren't, Coach.
And I mean that's tremendous because this group of kids, most of these kids were freshmen, and sophomores through that. So to be able to see them reap the benefits is just gotta be a tremendous feeling for your kids and for you personally.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so proud of our staff. I think, it's a hard thing to go through losing football games. And I think our staff, I don't think we ever flinched. I think we felt like we were doing it the right way. I think we knew that, you got to do it with young kids, and you got to kind of build what you want and what you want the program to look like. And I don't think this win is possible without, those lean times.
Yeah.
Without the kids having to go through those moments sometimes is, it's hard to explain to them. And I had to look at a disappointed locker room a lot, but makes it all worthwhile, watching them celebrate tonight.
And then
Coach,
Brent wanted me to ask you, we're going to fake the punt up by 1.
Coach, no, hey man, we felt like the whole game. I think we had to go for it on 4th and 5. I think going into red zone, and I felt like we weren't going to win the football game if we weren't aggressive. And I think we felt like if we faked the punt and got the first down, we were going to end the game. And they called it out. Felt like we had it early. They called it last minute. I should have called timeout and gotten us out of it. But as well as anybody. I mean, when it works out, you look like a genius, and when it doesn't, you look like an idiot. So
what do you mean? You drew it up perfectly. They intercepted it, then you held them. They missed a field goal. They burned like 4 minutes off the clock, and then you got the ball back.
Exactly. That's you just act like that's how you drew it up, and the media guys like Brent will give you a hard time about it later, but when it works, what are you gonna do?
There you go,
listen, we were watching it in live action. I saw your look on your face after. I was like, uh-oh, I'm not sure if we're going to ask him about this later or not, but it ends up we did. Hey, congrats. Enjoy it. You've done a great job, and that's a huge moment over there at Bishop Kenny, no doubt about it, but you got some more football to be played, so good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right, that is Tim Krause. Bishop Kenny gets a big win. Let's go right back to the phone lines right now. Kyle Doherty from Yulee. And this is the story I wanted to tell you about, Sully. Yulee gets 2 wins this week, a big one over their rival, Fernandina Beach, another one tonight. And Kyle Doherty's doing a terrific job up there in Yulee. Kyle, thanks for joining us for the first time here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Tell us about the week for your guys.
Oh, what's going on? Man, it was a long week. 3 games in 7 days. We played tough Episcopal last Friday night, and then we Dina on Monday, and a tough Dina team that came out and ran the ball well. We were a little banged up, but it was just short weeks of preparation for 2 straight games, and our kids responded and answered. They played really well tonight. We executed both Monday and Friday night. We won the county for back-to-back years, and that's a big thing up here in Nassau.
Yep.
Yeah, we had you guys as our game of the week last night with our special edition of the Friday Night Blitz on TV, and Stuart Weber was up there, and you had a great quote about you're new to the area, but that game meant a lot, huh? 365-day kind of game to win the game you did on Monday night.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And this last game is the same game tonight, West Nassau. It's like I said, I wasn't aware of the rivalries. We had our rivalries down. I'm from Brevard County, and we got our rivalries down there, but those rivalries are not the same, in this area. You just don't know what it's like. Then the first game last year when we played Fernandina, I looked around at my coaching staff. I said, guys, what's going on here? Because it was packed. It was 4 or 5 rows deep standing up. So, I mean, that's what both these games mean to both of these communities. Even though West Nassau has struggled a little bit this year, they're still a good, tough football team, and they show up. That community showed up tonight. There was a lot of people at the game.
Absolutely. It's a fun football town out there in Callahan, Yulee as well, and all the history, of course, with Derrick Henry and company. Are you building it here? You feel like you're about to be good for a few years and really set the foundation? Because Yulee, there's an influx of people in Yulee, too. So I'm just wondering if there's more talent coming up that way. I mean, how do you look at the program long term and what's a nice year so far in 2022?
Yeah, I'm one of the influxes into the area, right? I moved up here from 3 hours away, so there is a lot of influx of talent. Our population in our school has risen. I'm expecting us in the next reclass to probably be a little higher because of how many people have moved in. There's homes being built everywhere in Yulee. That being said, we do have a lot of talent in here. A lot of sophomores played for us tonight. A lot of juniors played for us tonight. We do have some really notable seniors on our roster that are going to be able to play college football at the next level. But the talent drop-off is not – it's not as steep as one might think. We're a lot closer to some sustainability and success than I would have expected probably at the beginning of last year. We're a lot closer. The sophomore class right now is really talented. I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 sophomores that play for our D-line right now.
Wow, that's really good stuff. Kyle Doherty, thanks for checking in with us and continued success. You had a heck of a 7-day sprint, but a couple wins this week. So good for you, and thanks for jumping in for a few minutes.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, that's Kyle Doherty, and that was I think he's doing a heck of a job there at Yulee now.
Yeah, I do too.
And they're going to have talent. You know, everybody talks St. Johns County and all the talent down there and all the people moving there. You'll go look at north of the airport.
Yeah, I know. You ain't kidding.
That's all you got to do. All right, Sully.
All right.
Did I just hear you go outside? You going to, like, fight a bear up there in the woods or something?
No bears. We haven't seen any. There was one on the mountain about a month ago. There were 3 of them, actually.
Yeah, stay away from those guys.
Yeah, we don't venture that way too much. But I'll be back next week. We'll be back after. I had to check some games out.
All right. Safe travels, and that was a heck of a Friday night. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Kasey. All right, Brent.
All right. That is our Hall of Fame coach, Kevin Sullivan. By the way, quick little scoreboard here. If you missed out, Trinity Christian beat Providence 55-10. Ponte Vedra 35-34 over Nice. Columbia 45-0 over Ridgeview. Creekside wins 36-0 over Atlantic Coast. St. Augustine wins a district championship 45-7. Oakleaf loses to Bartram Trail 55-20. Middleburg over Orange Park 35-14. Ed White 34-0 yesterday over Westside. Old Plank Christian beat St. John's Country Day 26-6. And the big one, Bishop Kenny 14, Bowles 13. Historic win for those guys. Buchholz beats Fleming Island 49-35 yesterday. Episcopal wins 41-0 over Wolfson yesterday. And I told you Mandarin beat Sandalwood 24-14. And Fletcher beat First Coast 30-12. I'll give you another one. Terry Parker over Englewood 6-0. Some of the scores on this Friday night and some Thursday night football as well. That was fun, Kasey Kuhrts. That's why we do the show, the Blitz Scoreboard Show, presented by Nimnik Buick GMC and Baker Sports. You can always go back and watch it on YouTube or right here on Twitter and watch the celebration in the fourth quarter for the Bishop Kenny Bowles game. That was fun, Kasey Kuhrts.
It was a good time. And now if you're listening on ESPN 690, we're going to give you back to the World Series and coverage of that. I will let you know that when you last heard it, well, it's a little different story now. The Astros are up 5-0. It's now 5-5 after a 3-run fourth from the Phillies and a 2-run fifth from the Phillies. So the game is all tied up. Zach Eflin is pitching to Trey Mancini, and you can hear it right now on ESPN 690.